Alrighty, we're getting right into it. We're making cowboy candy. Now, I'm not using all these peppers. I'm only using the jalapenos and serranos. I'm not using those cayennes or the ring of fires, but I was just kind of flexing on my harvest because I love it. It was the last one. But yeah, so I am using serranos, and mine are a little funky looking. They all grew a little differently, and my jalapenos did grow a little small, but that's okay. And I'm not using these little ones. I don't recommend using those ones for cutting up, but the rest you can totally use. I'm using all different colors of the peppers. I don't care if they're green or orange. All are fine to use for this recipe. Feel free to like mix and match whatever types of peppers you want. You could totally do less spicy ones too. And I almost did the ring of fires, but they're a little too skinny, and I don't know. I just feel like they might not have done well in this recipe. So next we're just going to pick through, take out all the ones that are either too small, a little too wrinkly. I'm also just saving some to freeze later and to keep for the rest of the year. First step is to start dicing. Now I would recommend wearing gloves, as does every article. They recommend you wear gloves, but I didn't have any, so it's fine. Just make sure to watch your face, watch your babies, pets, all that. So see, that one's really wrinkly. I'm not going to use that. But slice however you'd like. Most recipes I see, they're just sliced in like 1/2 inches like I'm doing here, and this worked perfectly. I sliced my jalapenos and my habaneros like this. My serranos, which you'll see next, I sliced at an angle. Yep. Just because they were skinnier and I wanted everything to be roughly the same size, kind of. And I wanted to be able to tell the difference between the serranos and the jalapenos when they're in the jars. And that seemed to work out really well. Now, total, I have about 3.5-ish pounds of chili peppers. The recipe I tripled, so I just rounded that up to like 3. And this is the chili mix: chili powder, turmeric, ginger. It's 3 teaspoons chili powder, 1 1/2 teaspoon of turmeric and ginger. And then this is 1 1/2 cup of apple cider vinegar and 3 cups sugar. That's everything you will need. Now, to start off, you just want to mix your sugar, apple cider vinegar, and the spice mix into a pot on medium to high heat. You want to get that all mixed in, and then you want it to boil down to a syrup-like consistency. Also, down in the description, I'll put the original recipe, not the one that I tripled. So if you want to make this and you don't have enough or as much as I did, totally use that recipe. It's the same thing. So you'll start to see the mix kind of change colors. You want to make sure you're stirring every so often or kind of regularly. You don't want this to burn. And I was a little paranoid of it burning, so I really made sure to stay on top of it. And as time goes on, it will start to kind of thicken. I think I did end up turning my heat down just a little bit. There's like the syrup-like consistency. It will darken, which is fine. And then you add in all your peppers. And this step, leaving the peppers in with this syrup sauce, should only take like 5 to 7 minutes. You will see all the peppers start to darken, and that's totally fine. They'll kind of wilt a little bit as well. But yeah, you just leave it, mix every so often. You barely have to pay attention to it at this point. And then I move it over, and we're going to water bath. So if I had a bigger stove, I would have already had this going, but I don't. Also, my pot has a dent on the bottom, and so I kind of have to hold it until it heats up every single time. I keep forgetting to pop that dent in. It's a little sketchy, but whatever. Okay, so next we're going to take a slotted spoon, and you want to put those peppers into your clean and sanitized jars that you're going to use to water bath. Try not to be super messy. And I only had these pint jars. I would have done smaller jars, honestly, but I was only able to get 3 pints. And then from there, we add in our syrup, and I do a little bit at a time, and then I top off at the end. You want to make sure to leave that like 1/2 inch space at the top for canning, just to be safe. I would recommend that anyway, even if you're not canning. You don't want it like filled to the brim and spilling everywhere whenever you open it. That's about how much I had left over. Some people I've read use that for like spicy margaritas or just spicy mixed drinks. So if you want to try that, maybe save it. And then this is important. Make sure we wipe anything sticky. See, look at that. I usually take a wet rag, wipe all the sticky stuff off of it, and then I dry the top of the rim really quick just to make sure that those lids are getting a nice secure fit. And then we want to twist them on, only finger tight. You don't want to close it up as tight as possible and use all your strength. Just literally, as soon as you feel it get too tight that you'd have to put in a little bit more effort to turn, then you're good. Next, we're going to very carefully put our jars into the water. You want to leave about a few inches above the top of the jar, and you only do this once your water is boiling. And you don't want to cluster your jars. I'm fine, I only have 3, but for next time, you don't want to have them all squished together. Recipe calls for 10 minutes, but I'm at high altitude, so I water bath for 20. And that's it. Those are my beautiful jars, and what's next to them is going to be in my next video. They're little fireballs that I'm water bathing, so if you want to watch that, then stay tuned. Subscribe, and I will see you later.